So that is why, when we totally understand what meditation is about bringing ourselves to this center, connecting with this center, and how can we centralize, and there actually we call the meditation. That is the purpose of meditation. So meditation, now with that understanding, you will understand that meditation is not about totally shutting down, right? Meditation is actually about really allowing. Meditation is actually about opening. And if you don't open yourself, then how can you go in? Right? In that closeness, you cannot really go in. So that is why in meditation, so there's really going into that center, and once you get into that center, then everything is different. Once you get into that center, everything is different. You look into these green leaves, you will see those green leaves greener. And you're living your life just simply, but your life, each and every moment become a celebration. Each and every moment become a festival. Each and everything is something to be celebrated. So that is the beauty of how, if we go into that center. For example, sometimes we try to go into that center by taking some drugs, like the substance, right? I always kind of think that is like a beautiful story about Ram Dass. Like in 60s, right? He went to his teacher, and then he was taking this some substance, and he gave it to his master, and he didn't give, actually, he has this, and the master said, what is this? And he said, okay, this is some people, some hippies, use this to centralize, to get into their transcendental meditative state. So, and he kind of grabbed all the LSD, and then just put it into his mouth, and he just take it, and he sits there, and Ram Dass was very worried because there is a danger of overdosing. So, and he looked at the master and said, "Master, nothing is happening." And master said, nothing is happening. It's same. Every day I'm like that. So, which explains everything, right? So when you are in meditative state, you don't need other outside substance. Because when you centralize, and when you actually centralize means, where is the center? The center is in the present moment. So when you see things through the eyes of this present moment, being in the moment, and when you see everything, then it looks different. Most of the time, how do we see? How do we see everything around us? We see through past. We see through our experience of the past, right? Or we see through the anxiety or the fear of future, right? It is just like either we see through our past experiences, or we see through the future expectation, right? Future expectation. Even when we meet someone, do we really see the person as the person? Most of the time, no. We see the person not as a person. We see the person through the story that we heard about that person, right? It's just like, as soon as we meet someone, it is like, what are you? Are you a lawyer? Are you a doctor? What are you doing? Right? And then we have all of these stories, either something like that. And they're even when we meet someone, we want to know oh, are you American? Are you Indian? Are you, and then as soon as we put this label on that person, the person is American, then suddenly we create a story because, we have this projection, what is American like, right? If they are Indian, then we have stories about what are Indians like. If they are Tibetan, what are Tibetans like? And then suddenly we really don't see the person by being in the moment. And we see through the story. We clouded our perceptions with the stories that we already have. So when we are seeing like that, we see through our past experiences. And when we see through the past experiences, it is already a cloud. It's already a veil there. It's like, then we create that. We create that cloud and that fogginess. And then the real person is there, but we project things on that person, and either sometimes we see that person through the future expectation. It is like, I expect this person, I expect this person to be that, and that is why I want to see this person as how I expect it, or how that person will become in the future, right? And then we don't really see the person through the present moment. So when we really see through the present moment, that is the beauty actually. When we see the person through the present moment, then there's nothing attached about what story you made about this person and what that person is going to do in the future. You just face the real person. And when you just face the real person, and then when love, when compassion, when connection happen at that time, that is called the true love. That is called the true compassion. There's no stories involved, right? And many times, like when we see the person, we see through our stories, right? It is like as soon as we see, it is like our label is, oh, that person is that person rich or poor, right? And if it is, we think it is a rich, then we already have stories about what rich people should be, right? And then, if we think that, oh, that person is poor, and then we already create a story about, oh, the poor person should be this way, right? And then we don't kind of really see the person. We see the person from this kind of story. And with the story, and if it is something matching with our story and that person and how that person expected to be and how that person through, then we create this love, and then that love and that connection is not real. So that is why if we see through present moment, everything is different. So if you really kind of meditate and being in the center, by being in the center, and if you really see, and that is something we have a capacity to do that. We are capable. We are capable of doing that, but I don't know why, we kind of don't have a habit, right? We don't have a habit of doing that. We always kind of go with the past or future. And the presently, sort of it is just kind of small window. And sometimes even the present moment is we cannot recognize it. For example, as soon as we say this is present, it is almost gone, right? The present moment is so like a thin, and we think that the present moment is nothing actually. Everything, it is about the past and the future. The present moment is almost like a nothing. If we go in through the time, and then 1 minute, there's 60 seconds, right? And within the 1 second, how many seconds there are? And then as soon as you kind of perceive that, it is already gone. It's almost like the past. And from past into future, it goes so fast. And it is, that is why we think that there is no present. Actually, that's not true. The whole universe fits into the present moment. right? Everything exists in the present moment. How can present moment be so small? Right? If present moment is so small, then nothing fits in. Then everything will not fit in. So everything, every single thing that exists in the whole universe fits into this present moment, right? Everything is what? Everything is present, actually. Whatever past is past, it's gone. It's just a history, right? And the future is just not yet arrived. So everything is present moment. And that is why when we kind of live in this center, when we get into that centerness, there we can find this present moment. And this present moment is actually not about going horizontally. It is actually going vertically. So present moment exists vertically, and if in meditation what we do is we jump into that existence, that real existence. So that is what we call the meditation.